Take questions, Coach.
Yeah, appreciate you guys being here. No, it's a cold day. Fortunately, we play indoors. But just proud of our guys to get back on the winning track. There's no question the last 3 games, not only have we not played as well in certain areas, but when you lose, you take a hit confidence-wise, right? You get knocked back a little bit. And, we certainly felt that. And just proud of our week. We kind of viewed the start of last week after Ohio State. We gave them Sunday off. We came back on Monday, and we just kind of viewed as like a restart. Our habits and discipline and kind of some of the stuff where we needed to be wasn't there. And we said, let's just go back to kind of the basics. And we did a lot of fundamental work. We did stations, a lot of defensive breakdown drills to kind of get our habits back. And it wasn't perfect tonight, but I definitely saw growth. And I was really impressed with guys' attitudes. We're trying to get into a situation where we can get some more consistent kind of rotations going. I don't think it's fair to anybody when you don't know when you're coming in, you don't know when you're coming. It's hard as a player. And so kind of made a little bit of a change to the lineup today to kind of, I think, help with our substitution patterns and kind of get a little bit more of a flow rotationally. And I was really proud of our bench. I mean, we know the starters, what they can do, but I thought the 4 guys coming off the bench, I thought Trey, Jake, Justin, and Max, those 4 guys particular, and other guys too, but those were the 4 kind of main subs that I thought really came in and did a good job. They made good plays, brought energy, and that's what we need going forward. And we had a lot of balance, right? I mean, Dave Ennett just said we had like 7 guys who had 8 points or more or something, or 8 guys who had 8 points or more. And that's kind of what I envisioned a little bit, as I saw this team offensively. So, and we can shoot the ball better, and obviously that's going to be, getting our open shots and knocking them down 7 for 26. And I have a lot of confidence in our guys when they have open shots. So there's always things you can work on, but this was a good win for us today. And the start of a big week, we talked about the rest of this non-conference being incredibly important. And, we'll have another important test on Tuesday night against Valpo.
Coach, I know how much you love to reflect on this stuff in season, but today was your 200th win, Now just 36 behind the all-time leader here. How does it feel to hit that mark, and is being the winningest coach a goal for you?
Yeah, it's no. I mean, I never came into it saying I wanted to be the winningest coach at Northwestern. I mean, I came here to try to build a program. Honestly, it wasn't as much about wins and losses. Just growing up in this area, the way this program was talked about, my biggest goal was to earn respect, to earn respect as a place that does things right, that's competitive, that, is one that's respected within Big Ten circles. And I don't really care about fans, and I'm talking about within basketball. To have a program that's respected amongst other coaches, respected amongst people that have been in the game, that have been doing this for a long time. So that's the thing I'm most proud of. I didn't even know this was the 200th. I mean, people can say that's crazy, but I really was so caught up in trying to help us get better this week that when I heard the announcer say it when the buzzer was over, I was like, man, it's a lot of games. And I guess the good thing is I got 200 wins before 200 losses. So that's probably was a goal. But just really proud of, just reflecting. It's funny that Rafael Davis is doing the game today because he was playing for Purdue in our first year, and we were laughing a little bit. Purdue was really struggling that year, and we had a game in here that was double overtime my first year, and then the last game of the season we played up in Mackey, and we actually won on the last game of the season. But just reflecting back to, man, how long I've been here. And I always say, though, I'm a son of a coach, so I understand coaching accolades is about player success and about players playing the game. I haven't scored any baskets for Northwestern. I haven't gotten any defensive stops. I've just tried to be a positive leader and put together and bring the right guys in here to help our program get better and be competitive. So, the people I'm most thankful for are obviously assistant coaches, support staff, people who have been by my side, some of which, Brian James and Chris Lawton have been here from day one, 2 guys on my staff that have been a part of all 200 wins. And then all the players, just guys that have believed in me. I came here, I had never coached a game. I'd never called a timeout. I was a young assistant coach. the guys that believed in me and the vision to come here and kind of help our program. So, you reflected a little bit about that, and I'm really thankful for all those players because you don't win any games without their fight and what they do on the floor.
Coach, obviously a much improved day in terms of interior defense and also offensive rebounding.
Yeah.
How much do you attribute that to we're playing a much smaller team in Jackson State as opposed to these are tangible things that we have improved on?
I think it's a combination. Obviously they were a little bit more undersized than the past opponents we've had. But, just putting our bodies on guys, we weren't even doing that, in some of the games. I thought we had some really good situations where we call them wall-ups, where you just go up with your body and you stay solid and you make guys miss around the rim. I didn't see the final rebound numbers, but, 45 to 29 on the glass. They only had 8 offensive rebounds and only 16 points in the paint. It's a whole lot better than 62, from the game. So I think it's a combination. Part of it was, their lack of size around the rim to do some damage, but they did have some quick guards. Ruffin's a really good player, his ability to get in the paint. They had other guys who were driving the ball. So I do think there was progress. There was a lot of work done this week in trying to get our habits right, getting our stance right, having guys in better help side position, being a little bit more physical when guys did get into the paint and rebounding better. So, I think there was progress in all those areas. And are we there yet all the way? No way. We got to get a lot better. But, it was just good for our guys to see their hard work kind of pay off and see some positive things today.
Coach, you talked about the benefits of the week off defensively, but also offensively. After a slow start, you guys exploded for your second highest total of the year. Yeah. What's the biggest difference that you've seen today compared to some of the previous games where you guys were more hovering around the 70s?
Yeah, I thought we did a good job. We got to the line. 30 free throws certainly helps. We shared it well. We had 21 assists. I think the next thing, we're scoring well in the paint. With Nick and AP, those guys have been really effective. Angelo is finding a way with cuts and stuff around the rim, and, he's really doing a lot of damage around the basket. I think the next thing for our offense is to unlock the three-point shooting a little bit. That's been an area. And quite frankly, guys, we didn't work on a whole lot of offense this week. I'm sure some of you guys who follow us, you understand what I mean by that. We did not spend much time on our offense because we were scoring in the 80s, even though we were turning it over a little bit too much. To me, offense wasn't the problem. It was solely on getting our defensive habits back up to par. And, I can do a better job as we move forward here, just scripting it a little better. And, we could be probably a little sharper in some areas. But overall, to score 93 today, with only shooting 7 for 26 from 3, I thought I was pleased with that.
For your starting lineup, you mentioned Trey is coming off the bench. It seemed like the first time was more of an issue with maybe he was still dealing with some sickness, but you had a week off here. This seemed more like a depth chart decision.
Yeah.
Bringing him in as kind of that super six man.
Yep.
That tie.
Yep.
Is that what you're thinking going forward?
Right now, yeah. I just wanted to take a look at it, Matt. Nothing's set in stone. We kind of that first 7-8 games, looked at the bigger lineup. And we had a lot. We got off to pretty good starts. It wasn't that we weren't getting off to good starts. I think it's more about then how you sub. So when you have 3 kind of bigger guys starting the game and a couple of them get tired, now you're bringing mostly guards in. So I just wanted another bigger body to come off the bench. I've told all of our players, I want them all to view themselves as starters. It's really who starts, who comes off the bench. I know it is a big thing, social media, prestige, all that. But, Trey still played, 23 minutes, off the bench, which is starters minutes in a 40-point game. So talk to him about that, kind of being that first guy in. And he can come in for anybody, really. He can come in for AP. He can come in for Nick. He can come in for one of the wings. He can come in for JR if we need to, but I wanted to take a look today, and I thought it helped us with our subbing more than anything. I'll take a look at the film and see the flow of the game, but I want to get in a better I want to get in a better flow rotationally, more for us as coaches, but also for the players. So they have a better idea kind of when they're going to be called on and get, the expected minutes. It's hard. I went through it, and I feel for a lot of these guys. We've been kind of coming into the games not really having a clear, decisive path, who was going to play, who was coming in, when they were coming in. And I think we tried to use this week to get a little bit clearer path, but things are still up for, like, guys can outplay other guys, and like nothing's set in stone. It was just something, Matt, that I wanted to take a look at today, and I thought it helped in a lot of respects. So we'll see going forward.
KJ only played 1 minute. Was that a coaching decision, or was that a sickness? Or?
Yeah, no, that was just a coaching decision. I just I felt like the other guys that were in, were doing the job, and he's just got to stay ready. He's got to be ready to go. But I was really pleased with what the other guys were doing. And then when we got to the end of the game, I really wanted to reward Phoenix with some minutes. He's been working hard. He's been doing a good job. And I wanted to, with the game being out of reach, I wanted to give him a good I almost said 6-7. Some of you guys know what that means. But I wanted to give him a little bit of a run there at the end. So KJ just got to be ready. We know what he's capable of doing. He's got to keep working and be ready when called on.
Just going back to the three-point shooting, you guys have only one on the first half.
Yep.
Going to the second half, you guys have 6 more.
Mm-hmm.
So what kind of changed during the halftime, and is that matter to creating more shooting space and ball handling?
Well, I mean, pretty much now, now that we've been scouted a lot, you're seeing Nick and AP are both seeing a lot of double teams. Not just Nick, AP too. I mean, his ability to score in the post. I mean, both those guys are being doubled a lot, and the way we have to, open it up for them is we gotta keep people honest, and we gotta make some shots. And so, I thought in the first half we were 1 for 9, but really I thought most of them were good looks. Our feet were set. They were in rotation. They were either out of the post or out of traps, and we got good looks. We didn't knock them down. Second half, I think Jordan made it first possession there. We had a really good ball moving. He made one in the corner. Max then hit a couple. Nick hit one. So we're going to keep, that we got to be able to make shots, because when you have 2 dominant low post players like we do, you got to be able to keep them honest by making shots. So we got to continue to work on that and being ready to knock those down.
It seemed like one of the kind of catalysts of the game was close early, and then you have that lineup with backcourt of with Max and Jake West.
Yeah.
Go on that 12-0.
Yeah.
What did you see from those two and kind of the energy they brought in?
Yeah, they had a real good week of practice. Kind of spent time with both of those guys. Kind of to get them ready. And I thought they did a great job. I thought both of those guys, and Justin as well. I don't know if he was in with that group, but I thought all 3 of those guys, really did a great job today with kind of coming in, fighting, playing good D, scrapping, battling, making plays. I thought their energy was evident. I felt their energy, felt their enthusiasm. And it was a good step forward. We're going to need those guys. I mean, they really add when you get that kind of play, from Jake, from Max, from Justin. It really adds to our depth. So really proud of all those guys.
Coach, Angelo Cherovino has now had double figures 3 times in his last 4 games. You mentioned a lot about Nick and AP being double teamed. What does it mean to have another consistent, prolific scorer on the roster?
Yeah, I mean, Angelo's done a great job. I mean, it's well documented. He really had a great summer. I mean, he's worked really hard. He's grown in so many different areas. And I think the thing he's doing a really good job of is just opportunistically finding baskets. He didn't make a jump shot. All of his buckets were layups, whether it be offensive rebounds, cuts, transition. He's really playing to his strengths. And he's capable when open of making an open 3 too. But I'm just really proud. He's playing solid. He's rebounding the ball. He got 5 rebounds, 3 offensive rebounds. He had 4 assists. He's playing good basketball for us, and he's worked. He's gotten better. I'm proud of him, and the more he's playing well, hopefully he'll continue to be confident as we move forward. All right, thank you guys. See you Tuesday.
We've got Nick and Jake here. Go to questions for both these guys. Matt?
Nick, after Ohio State, you were pretty fired up in your remarks. After the week of practice and after this game, how do you feel like the team responded?
Great. I think we responded well. I think one of the things that I noticed was the guys off the bench today were great. I think they came in with great energy. And what I was saying last week about just contributing as much as you can to the team, I thought each and every one of them came in there and did what we needed to do to win.
for either of you. As Coach Collins' 200th win at Northwestern, what does it mean to you guys to be a part of the team that got him to that milestone?
I think it's pretty important. I think Coach is a great guy. He deserves that. And we kind of this week just kind of started over, kind of looked at our record as 0-0. And just to get that win on like a good identity, a lot of confidence means a lot.
How do you feel like you guys shared the ball today? Just like spreading the ball across the floor.
Yeah, I mean, I thought we shared it pretty well. This whole week was obviously a difficult one in the gym.
Yeah, definitely.
But it allowed us to come together, and kind of go through adversity together, and I thought we needed that.
I think also just like getting in the game, not trying to make like an impact right away, kind of just flowing in the offense. I think some guys like before we were kind of going in thinking we have to make a play right away, but today I feel like we played pretty good in the system, and we just kind of just flowed, like not putting the ball on the floor right away and just making the right plays.
Jake, you and Max headed, I believe, a 12-0 run after kind of some early struggles really helped you guys pull away. What was working well for you guys in that instance that, really turned things around after the slow start?
Yeah, I think just coming off the bench, you got to have a lot of energy. And I think Max is a great energy guy. He brings that every day in practice. And I think for me also, I'm an energy guy too. I feed off that. So when, me and Max are bringing that energy, it was obvious we're going to go on a run. I think just, like I said before, just playing through the offense and not trying to do too much, not trying to dribble through people, just kind of just playing through the offense and being confident.
Jake, you talked about the week being a lot of adversity, dealt with a lot of adversity today too, 6 free throws.
Yeah.
How do you think going to the hoop a lot can help add to your game?
Oh, definitely. I think my dad always says, like, once you see one go in, it's it's going to flow to a lot more. So I think getting to the free throw line, seeing those go in, it's definitely going to help my shot later in the game. And also just, it's, like I said, just gets me into a good flow and leads to more shots.
Jake, you had 20 minutes tonight. That's a career high for you so far. So any thoughts about seeing more of the floor today?
Yeah, I think I just, like I've been saying the whole time, just playing through the system, not trying to get sped up or just slowing down, just letting things come to me. I think in the games before, the coach has been on me about just slowing down, not playing too fast. So I think today I slowed down, and that was the reason I played a lot more.
Nick, you had that run in the second half where you guys were breaking the press every possession. You were just getting open layups. What did you see from the guys in terms of just staying cool and collected and making sure to not turn the ball over?
Yeah, they did a great job, getting the ball up the floor and keeping their heads up. I told AP on the bench, he was like, dang, those should have been my points. But, yeah, I mean, they just got me 3 easy layups in a row. So, yeah, they did a great job.
Any more questions? Okay, that wrap us up. Thank you.